This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today this will be like a vitamin or a supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts from, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom and leave a rating and a brief written review. It will enable other excellent people just like you to be able to locate this podcast. Thanks so much for listening today. I want to talk about the leader and relationships. I don't particularly care today what area in life it is that you're leading. If nothing else but leading yourself, that's a pretty big job. Leading your family, leading in a not-for-profit, a volunteer organization. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a manager at work, or just someone who's doing their job as a part of a team. Leaders are not just people in positions. Leaders are not just to bark out orders and to make rulings from on high and have the rest of us follow along. We need leaders to have relationships with us. We need leaders who share their heart, their goal, their vision, their passion throughout the entire organization. Let's just talk about if you're leading yourself, you obviously need to know what your passion, your vision, your purpose is, your goals. Your family needs to know that. If you're meeting with a group of folks in a Bible study, they need to know that. And at work, they need to know that. A sense of purpose is created when we believe the leader is looking out for all of us, not just looking out to be promoted, not just looking out to blow their own trumpet, not just looking out to take care of themselves economically and other way, but that they really do care about all of us. How does a leader who needs to be an effective leader, how does she go about doing this? Well, one of the ways is you have to be an effective listener. Every time on my podcast, and this is about episode number 351, I have oftentimes talked about listening. And often then I tell you quite quickly, this is not something that is my default position. If you want to know what my default position is, it's talking, not listening. But as I have matured a little bit, I really believe that some of the greatest things that have happened to me have come because I listened. Now, not just listening to like hurry up and get done so I can say something, but listening with the idea they're going to tell me something I need to know. They're going to tell me something that will help me and I can help them. One of the greatest things that listening does is it does, if you are really listening, not just hearing, but listening, it displays a spirit of compassion. It helps me to work with people when I know what their underlying assumptions are. I know a little bit about their background. I know a little bit about their experiences. I know what interests them, and I know what concerns and bothers them. I know what their underlying viewpoint of life is. And part of listening that happens, a byproduct of an effective listener in our lives is she or he create a safe environment where people know their voices will be heard. Even if you don't agree with them, even if you go a totally another direction, they'll know they're being heard. So create that safe space. Remember that no one of us is as smart as all of us, and so go in with the idea that I can learn something from this person. They have a vantage point that I don't have. I think another thing that a leader needs to really focus on in the area of building effective relationships is empathy. Empathy is that ability to get in someone else's shoes. And again, it does not necessarily mean that my view will be changed or my opinion will be changed. But listening to someone's heart and their story and hearing them out, I can at least see, I understand from their vantage point and from their viewpoint and from the way the world has treated them and they have reacted, why they feel that way. So much of what I'm talking about today, and have been kind of talking about for the last several weeks in lots of places, really just comes from the book Emotional Intelligence. Empathy is one of those skills, but another one is self-awareness. It utterly amazes me how many people in leadership positions hardly have any self-awareness at all. They think that they go from strength to strength. They think they are to be the star at every party. It's sort of like what Theodore Roosevelt's children said about their father. Daddy had to be the bride at every wedding and the corpse at every funeral. Now that's a very homely way of saying Dad had a mighty big ego and thought everything was about him. Take the spotlight off yourself, leader, and you control the spotlight and shine it on others. Are you aware, leader? A self-aware leader will have some idea of their effect and impact on those around them. When you start talking, does everyone else clam up and not talk, even when you ask them for ideas? Have you ever wondered why that is? Do you butt in and cut them off? Do you talk over them? Do you just, with a wave of your hand, dismiss their ideas and their opinions? Leadership is a relationship. And the more that you can practice empathy and become self-aware. I think a leader who is good in relationships will learn how to delegate, and not just delegate busy work, but even delegate really critical, important tasks that have to be done. And this way you build trust in relationships. It's not just enough to say with your lips, hey, I trust you, I believe in you. But if you're going to build relationship, you also have to take actions that demonstrate in a tangible way to those around you that, hey, the leader, she really does believe in me. She really does think I'm an important part of the team. Another way that you can build that relationship, which I believe will make everything in your leadership run much more effectively and certainly more smoothly, is to just constantly be asking for candid, honest, critical, consistent feedback. Now, just as the theory goes that I've tried to live by, you praise in public, you correct in private. I don't know that it's important for somebody to just stand up in a group setting and blast the leader or anyone else, but that your door should always be open and you should let people know, hey, I really am interested in effectiveness. I really am interested in your opinion. I value you and your opinion, and just knock on the door. I want to hear what you think, and just build in as many ways to get honest, formal or informal feedback. And then I think one of the other things, if you're going to build relationships, is learn to reward your people for a job well done. Now, what I have discovered is it doesn't have to be monetarily something large, and I'm not even sure that money is as big a motivator as we think it is. I think an atta-girl, an atta-boy, a little pseudo plaque or a little trophy of some sort, just saying, hey, you have been noticed, we have taken note, and we appreciate you, and you did an extraordinary job. I think it always behooves the leader to develop the skills of people. That is, we should be able to talk to people. Oftentimes when I'm amazed at how many leaders thinks it's the follower's job to come up and initiate a conversation and try to get to know them. If you are the leader of the organization, you're the one that needs to be reaching out to everybody in the whole company. I'm talking about clerks, custodians, because our businesses would not run effectively at all without those kinds of people. No one in our company is so small that they're not significant. So therefore, learn to go out of your way, know their names, be interested in them. Building relationships, it's really the true gold in life. And it just may be that you need to work on some of your interpersonal skills. The other thing is you can't just hide out in your office. Get present. The old management by walking around. And there are going to be times where you can't just rely, though we all rely on it, including yours truly, the phone and email and texting. But once in a while, you need face-to-face conversation with people to let them know you appreciate it and you are for them. The other thing I think I want to say to you is just right now, absolutely commit to be a person who builds relationship. It's up to you, as I've already said, you need to initiate the relationship. Don't wait for other people to come around and build the relationship with you. Commit to being a relationship builder. Now, depending on what kind of a position you have, it may be data and figures and the bottom line, and here are the goals, and here's how many widgets we have to sell. But make sure, leader, that you are connecting with your people at a human, personal level. If you are the leader and you have authority over people, then it will be you who sets the tone for the relationship. It's not other people's responsibility to relate to you. It's your responsibility to initiate those relationships. I used to say to a group of pastors a quote from an old-time pastor that I know I've used on this podcast before, Charles Spurgeon, who said, "A desk is a dangerous place from which to view the world." Get rid of the physical barrier and get out and connect with people. Connect not just with them intellectually or because you are working together, but connect with their heart. Be compassionate and be interested in what's happening on and in their lives. Well, I can tell you whether you're a relational leader by a couple of things. Let me ask you some questions. How well do you know each person on your team? Do you know the names of their family or how much family they have? Do you know where they're from? Do you have any idea what their dreams or aspirations are? And if not, why not? Why not? And here's your tough medicine for the day. The why not is because you haven't taken the time to care to ask. And it's not just enough to ask. You need to focus on them and learn. Have you sought to understand what it is that everyone on your team actually does that helps and assists the team moving forward? Do you understand what their job is? Do you understand what their frustrations, their hopes, and their dreams are in life in general and with their job in particular? Have you ever asked them what they think? What options they may see that could make our company much more effective and could help us gain market share? Are you communicating with them just because you listened to a podcast and someone told you it would be a good idea? Or have you really decided to take an interest in them? Leader, it doesn't matter how successful you view your company is. One of the things that you must do as a leader is bring all of the people in the organization along with you. Now, I realize there will be some who even won't come alongside you kicking and screaming. There are some who do not want to make the journey. There may even be some there that it's just nothing more than a paycheck to put food on the table, and that's okay. But my experience tells me that is a vast, underwhelming minority of the people you work with. Most of the people that we work with care, and they care deeply. They care about their families, they care about the country, they care about the organization, and they want you to succeed. Perhaps then it's our time to mine some of those gold fields and ask their opinion and to let them know how valuable they are. And though we may think they're valuable, if we don't communicate it with them and we don't tell them that, they will never ever know that until the leader steps out from where they are, gets out from behind the desk, looks them in the eye, asks them questions, learns to empathize, and learns to understand I can learn some really valuable lessons from you if I'll just listen with an open heart and get to know who you are and care about you as a person. You have been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today this has been like a vitamin or a supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts from, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom? It will enable other excellent people just like you to be able to locate this podcast. Today, please, my leadership friend, regardless of what seems to be happening all around you, regardless of your own frustrations, disappointments, setbacks, and hurts, I want you to know you are doing better than you think you are. You absolutely, truly are. And until next time, this is Dr. Ron saying, have a great and blessed day.